Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Norm, thank you for increasing your Patreon pledge. My man. Getting right into it, Kathy Wood said Tesla seems to understand that China would like local champions to dominate EV sales inside the country, but is pleased that Tesla is exporting from China high-quality, high-end EVs, especially to Europeans whose standards for fit and finish design are quite high. Kathy shared a tweet from her analyst Sam where he shared this image of Tesla local shipments in black, pink is export shipments, and then the competitors in the local Chinese market. And as you can see, the export number from Giga Shanghai was very high in July, which is the theme that everybody is talking about and watching. And Elon had some thoughts about this tweet and he calls out some suppliers. So he said, Tesla makes cars for export in the first half of the quarter and for the local market in the second half of the quarter. A great reminder for anybody that's new. As publicly disclosed, we are operating under extreme supply chain limitations regarding certain standard automotive chips. The most problematic by far are Renesas and Bosch. So straight up putting these suppliers on blast, telling everybody, hey, our biggest problem when it comes to the supply chain is these two companies. And so now is as good a time as ever to give you a quick backstory on these two companies. So March 21st, earlier this year, Japan's Renesas Electronics, a key automotive semiconductor supplier, said on Sunday that production at a fire-damaged plant will take at least 1 month to restart. So this fire happened during the shortage that was already taking place, so this only exacerbated the issues. And in case you missed this one, Daimler and Bosch are now ending their joint robo-taxi development project, which was named Athena. And even the managing director at Bosch came out and said he admitted that the challenges involved in the development of robo-taxis for urban traffic were bigger than many would have thought. And this is not the first failure of a partnership for Daimler. Prior to Bosch, they actually tried a similar strategy with BMW. The project was focused on developing level 3 autonomous features, but that joint initiative was ended last year. And I still can't get over this line right here though. I mean, are there really that many people that think robo-taxis are an easy or even a not difficult problem? If so, I'll have what they're having. And also earlier this summer, we got news that Bosch is opening a $1.2 billion chip plant in Germany, in Dresden, Germany to be specific. This plant was supposed to start production in July for power tools, and then the automotive chips were supposed to start in September. And generally speaking, it takes 20 weeks to make a semiconductor chip, including 600 individual steps in the wafer facility alone. If you want to learn more about this in-depth industry, take a look at this video. But the TLDR is this industry is one of the most complicated on the planet. But moving on, as you can see, Elon had a nice casual sit-down meeting with Jörg Steinbach, the Minister for Economic Affairs and Energy of the state of Brandenburg. The text translated says, very relaxed evening meeting with Elon, co-workers on both sides and myself. In an atmosphere of mutual trust, we discussed the remaining tasks. Thank you to you and your great family for this visit, Elon. And sure, it would have been nice to get some more detail on those remaining tasks, but I think all we really need to know at this point is exactly what Elon said 1 day ago. It's going to be awesome with regard to Giga Berlin. So here's an update that I think most of us will really enjoy hearing. Carsten Block, the short seller who runs Muddy Waters Capital, just sent clients his first shareholder letter since starting a hedge fund in 2015. In the letter, he said that his firm's multi-year bet against Tesla has ended with no plans to revive it. Let's take a quick listen to Carsten Block about 2 years ago.
It's not a major position for us, but in our view, the company is likely to go bankrupt. Can't tell you exactly when, but that's pretty much our bear thesis on it.
So when you see that they've lowered the price of what is likely to be their most voluminous vehicle in the future to 35,000, is that something that concerns you, given that it might use up more cash building it than it makes profit-wise, given the cut in price?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem that there's a way for them to be profitable on selling the car at 35,000. And there are also signs that demand is really not there anymore for the higher priced Model 3s, Model S's, Model X's, and kind of doubt that even for this stripped down version of the Model 3, it's there. So lowering the prices, especially to points where it seems like they're losing money on some of the cars, I'd say is a giveaway. Also, it's the delivery times. If you go on the websites, the anticipated delivery times for the cars now are pretty short. So it seems like they're probably not building new cars to satisfy that demand, but rather pulling cars out of existing inventory stockpiles. And those stockpiles are pretty well chronicled on the internet, with lots of photos of parking lots brimming with Teslas. So that's why we also think that there's a demand issue here.
Another one gone and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Gone and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey.
Want to throw this out to you guys. Quick anecdote. So somebody took a few rides in the Vegas loop this week. Obviously a pretty cool picture, but here's what I want to ask you guys if anybody happens to have experience riding a boring loop. So they just expanded the convention center. It's a 20-minute walk end to end, or 1 to 2 minutes in the Tesla. This person said, I don't know how practical it is since every vehicle needs a driver and the driver isn't allowed to use autopilot, but everyone liked the novelty and I'm sure it will become more practical, cost efficient as the technology improves. But that line, and the driver can't use autopilot, seems very interesting and more dangerous to me. So if anybody has any insight into this, please let me know below. So Tesla is seemingly preparing the vehicle lineup for Israeli sales, and eventually they're looking to sell the Y, the S, and the X in this market. I'm not sure why not the 3 as of now, but it's likely the Model Y to be approved for use in the country's roads in the last quarter of this year, with market entry to begin early 2022. And Tesla's permanent showrooms and delivery center in the area are expected to open in early 2022 as well. Ray for Tesla had an interesting tidbit. Bei Xiaoyang, former content editor-in-chief of Dongshidi, a major automobile publisher, now joins Tesla China, responsible for new media dissemination. This is a major move to strengthen Tesla China's PR team. So Tesla adding to staff for Tesla China PR, and somebody said, please do the same in the US. Ray for Tesla agrees. What do you guys think at this point as things constantly evolve? Should Tesla have a PR team in the United States? I will leave my answer in the pinned comment. And Rich Rebuilds is probably hype about this news. So Tesla is now giving back supercharger access to salvaged vehicles, having temporarily limited and really taken away supercharging access for these vehicles that have been damaged or in accidents. Obviously, as a safety concern, Tesla has not really shared why they're giving this back. They haven't given any update on maybe if the safety is better or why it's okay now to do it. One could argue, hey, if they had a PR team, they could give some context to decisions like this. But when vehicles are totaled in crashes, they are sold as salvaged vehicles. And Tesla has reserved the right to deactivate supercharging on any vehicle they believe would be unsafe. If a vehicle is found to have been modified to enable supercharging and or any fast charging through third parties, Tesla may take legal action and seek compensation. This was previously, now this is seemingly being overruled. This coming from Green the Only and then being confirmed by a few people that have salvaged Tesla vehicles. As he said, he was hearing that Tesla suddenly re-enabled supercharging capabilities in salvaged Model 3 cars. Would be interesting to get some confirmations from a wider field if anybody has salvaged 3s with disabled supercharging. And then of course, a few people chimed in saying that they now have supercharging access. And real quick, NIO shared their Q2 data as revenue surged 127% year over year. NIO posted a narrower than expected loss and a surge in revenue. NIO delivered 21.8 thousand vehicles in the second quarter, within its own previously stated range. For the third quarter, they're forecasting between 23 and 25,000 vehicles. And in China, on top of the chip shortage, they are also dealing with floods, I've been told from multiple people, and obviously a resurgence of the virus. So tough situation circumstances for automakers in China. And they did $1.31 billion in revenue, once again up 127% year over year. And right now, as we know, NIO is making the EC6, ES6, ES8, and they're gearing up for the ET7 sometime in 2022. But that's all for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.